Hi guys, so this is a quick guide to creating a new league in Football Manager 2015. I recently had to do this for myself a few months ago, and in the process I came across a few difficulties, I had a few questions, and I thought I might be able to help people out by creating this video. So hopefully this is useful. What I'm going to do is recreate the same league that I created for myself, so that is the Russia League. I created a completely new league structure, basically because the current structure, it has 16 teams in the Premiership, and then below the first division it has a series of regional divisions. And what I was aiming for was less realistic, but more simpler, I guess, structure where you've got the Premiership, Championship, First Division, and you've got 20 teams in each division. So to start with, we want to let's have a look at the teams or the leagues that already exist in Russia. So we go to the competitions tab here, and if we click on the filter button, customize, so we want to look at all the leagues that are currently in Russia. Now for the purpose of this tutorial, we just want to disable all of these leagues because we want to create a new league structure, and we don't want any of these other old leagues in the way. We don't want them to conflict at all. So if we select them all, we go on the database, and then we click the is extinct option. That will remove them all from the game. And then we want to go to the clubs. We're dealing with Russia again, but we can do this for any nation. That's transferable. You want to click on clubs, nation. We'll find all clubs that are based in Russia, and as we want to add mainly the bigger clubs to our leagues, we want reputation at least 1000. So this finds 142 records. If we select all of the clubs, that's holding shift and clicking the top and the bottom clubs on the list. Then we click edit. We can go to competitions on the left, general, and we'll put the division equal to none. To check whether this has worked, we can now go back to database, and on the clubs tab, if we select any one of the clubs, it should now show that under the general tab there is no current division. The last division, you can remove that too if you like. It does help with the statistics tracking. It can look a bit strange if you leave the Premier Division in, because there are some issues with balancing the old Premier Division and the new Premier Division. But for now, I'm going to leave that there. So now we've got a bunch of clubs without any division. So we want to create a new competition. We want to create the Premier Division, the Championship, and the First Division. So let's go to the competitions tab. Get the database, then the competitions tab. And what we want to do, we want to click add on the bottom right, and we want to insert our new divisions. So call this the Russian, to distinguish it from the current First Division or current Premiership. We'll give it a slightly different name. So Russian Federation Premier Division. Under short name, you can put a shorter version of the name, or you can just put the same name again. Don't leave it blank though, that will cause some issues with text displays in game. 3-letter name, anything you want. So let's call it the RFP, Russian Federation Premier. We'll give it the original colours of the Russian Premier League, so white, blue and red. And it's important here under nation that you select the nation, the same nation as the clubs which you're going to import into the league. So let's put Russia here. We're not interested in the lowest official category at this stage. Reputation. Again, you can put this similar to the previous league. We'll put it here at 160. yeah, they sort of range from 0 to 200. So the higher the ranking, the better the league is, and probably the less problems you'll have buying players from other leagues. Is extinct? You want to make sure that's not checked. Uses seated stadiums, up to you really. I'll leave that blank. And then you want to click type, and you want to make sure it's listed as domestic top division. Under competition level, you want to put 1, and as the tooltip says there, the top division, the Premiership will be 1, the Championship will be 2, First Division will be 3, etc. Squad numbers, if you want your team to have squad numbers, tick the box. Then the next tabs are for minimum length, pitch dimensions basically. So again, if you want to change those, feel free to change them. It doesn't make a huge difference. So that's basically the First Division, the Premiership done. So let's go and add a couple more divisions. The same process again. Russian Federation. Let's call it the Championship. Three-letter name, RFC. Nation, we want to again choose the same nation. Reputation, give it a low reputation this time. Again, we want to have squad numbers. And under competition type, we want to have domestic division rather than domestic top division. Competition level 2, as this is the next step below the Premiership. So with that done, we will now set up a First Division. And again, make sure that we put it in the correct country. Reputation again will be lower. Type, domestic division, competition level 3. Okay, so now that's set up, we've got our 3 leagues. We need to populate them. So if you go back to this clubs tab we were at earlier, you should still have the ranking. If not, you can again go through the filter process, filter, customize, and what I've done is I've searched by base nation and reputation. So ranking by reputation will then stick the top 20 teams into the Premiership. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So to do that, select 20, click edit, competitions, general, search, and then we'll make sure that we put a little filter in so we get the correct divisions. Nation, and not extinct. So then we get our 3 divisions that we just created, and we want to put these guys into the Premiership. And it appears I only took 19 clubs, so we'll put Torpedo Moscow in as well. Okay, so then we want to put the next 20 teams into the Championship. Sorry. And then the next 20 teams we'll put into the First Division. In fact, we'll make it 22 just to have a different number. Competitions, general, search, and put it into the First Division. Okay, and basically that's our leagues created. Now we want leagues in our new nation, but we also want to have cup competitions. So we have to create those the same way that we created the leagues. Again, you go on competitions and you click add. So we're going to have 3 cups. First we're going to have the FA Cup equivalent. So this will be the Russian Federation Cup. The winner of this automatically qualifies for Europe. So again, put it in the same nation. This process is a bit repetitive, so I apologise in advance. Reputation, give it 160 or whatever number you want. Under type, we select domestic main cup, and competition level we can leave blank. So we can leave everything else blank unless you want to change it. Then we'll do this again for the other 2 cups. Reputation, type, we want to choose, this is a Super Cup, so we're going to have this set up to be a competition between the winner of the Russia Cup and the winner of the Premiership. So we'll set that as Super Cup. Then we'll go and create a 3rd cup, which is for the lower divisions. Again, you can give it any name you want. Reputation, low reputation is just quite lower ranked teams. Type, we want to select, we'll put domestic cup. And then we're ready to start putting these leagues into action, so the game will actually play these leagues properly. So, just to recap, right now we have created our 3 divisions, we've populated them, and we've created 3 cups to go along with those. So now we want to create nation rules. So if we click on the rules tab up at the top, and then we click on the add nation rules section, create new competition and rules, current nation, we go to the nation that we created the leagues for. In this case that's Russia, and we'll click on Russia here. Click next, then click finish. So now that we've done this, we have to start building the nation rules for our for our new country. So the first thing we want to do is we want to add our divisions. So click on the divisions tab here on the left and click add. Now if everything has been done correctly, when you click single division and click next, you'll have a drop down list here with all the divisions you created. If for any reason you don't see this list, that probably means that you haven't set your country when you're creating the league. You didn't put it in the same country as your nation rules, so double check that. In this case they're all showing up, so we'll add first the Premier Division. Click next. Number of rounds at the top means that they play each other twice, in the case that it's 2. Substitution rules, that's how many times you can substitute people in the league, and how many people are on the bench. Promotion places and relegation places are fairly straightforward. It should be noted that relegation here refers to automatic relegation, and that's automatic promotion. So if you want playoffs, you want to fiddle around with these figures a little bit. So we want, as a Premiership, we want no promotion places, and we'll have 3 relegation places. So make sure those numbers are in there and click finish. So we've got our first division. Then we do the same again. We put the Championship in there. This time we want 2 promotion places because we're going to have the 3rd one will be a playoff place, and we add that in later. And we'll have 3 automatic relegations. Then finally, let's put in the first division. Again, we'll give 2 promotion places and we'll have no relegation places. So it's a closed league. all the teams that are in there will be in there forever. You can't come in and out. Finish. Okay, so what do we do about the missing promotion space? Well, if we select the championship, double click on it, it will open up on the left here, and we can click on playoffs at the bottom. So make sure you're looking at the league, this tab here, and the correct league. Go down to the playoff section, and you can tick the box that says promotion playoff. If you do that, you can select the number of teams that are in the promotion playoff. We'll put 4 here, so it'll be 3rd place down to 6th will be in the playoff. Number of teams promoted, we want 1 team to be promoted, and you can change the match rules here as well. We'll do the same for the 1st division. So click on playoffs again, promotion playoff. Number of teams in playoff 4, teams promoted 1. Okay. So we've got our basic structure, and if we started to play now, the leagues should work, but there are still a few things missing. So firstly, it's important to look at the league sorting rules. At the moment, we don't have any league sorting rules, which means the game will sort them alphabetically. So that means if you've got 2 teams and the same number of points, even if one has a higher goal difference than the other, if it's lower alphabetically, then it will rank lower than the other team. So we'll go to league sorting rules here, and we'll add a few criteria for league sorting. So we'll have goal difference as the first one, then we'll have games won and matches between teams. You can set this up however you like for your leagues. Everything that we do, we have to repeat across all 3 divisions. So that was a Premiership, now we'll do it for the Championship in the 1st division. Okay. So going through the tabs here, so we've got the Russian Premier Division, number of teams we arranged earlier. You can alter the points for win, draw and defeat. If you leave it blank, it will keep it the default 3 for a win, 1 for a draw, none for a defeat. Priority here, you can give priority to cups, so you can give it fixture priority for the game to cups or to the league. Then we've got the promotion and relegation, which we looked at before as well. B or reserve teams cannot be promoted. That just means if you've got a feeder team, then you can either set it so it can't be promoted at all, or it can't be promoted too close to the main team. So in this case, we'll leave that blank. Television money per club. So you want to use a discretion as to whether you have television money. I will put some in. I'll put, say, 10 million in, as we're talking about the Premiership here. So 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the relegation parachute payment is the amount that teams get when they get relegated. So we'll have a parachute payment of 2 million in here as well. The television money goes to all clubs regardless of how well they do in the league. On the dates tab, you can change the season end date, start date. If you leave that blank, then the game will just use defaults. Prize money. So on this tab, you can set prize money for winning a game, drawing a game or defeat, which you may want to do if you want to have an alternative structure. The way I'm going to do it is I'm going to give prize money to finishing in a certain position in the league. So click add for the number of positions that you want to give prizes to, and then if you type 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, that will give it to 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th, and we'll give 10 million to the winner, 8 million to 2nd place, 6 million to 3rd, etc. Okay, so this will change as the game progresses based on league reputation. If the league reputation falls, then the prize money will fall as well, and conversely, if the league reputation rises. Fixture rules. Again, if you click add here, you can have all sorts of different rules. Number of homegrown players in squad, number of players in first 11, different criteria. You got both squad rules and rules for matches. So I'll leave those blank again, but you can fiddle about with those if you like. Then other. Do you want to deduct points? Leave that blank. And again, playoffs we looked at before. We got no playoffs in the Premiership. Okay, so the Premiership is complete. Now we move on to the Championship. We'll give some television money to this, but let's keep it a little bit less. So we'll give them $1 million. Prize money, we'll give it to the top 3. Let's say 500,000. 200,000 and 50,000. Everything else we'll leave blank, and in the first division we won't have any prize money. Again, that's up to you whether you want prize money or not. Next stage is to click on the Reserves Youth tabs right at the very bottom there on the left. And what we want to do here is to click the first Reserve Youth Team button and the second Reserve Youth Team. So if you select reserves on the top and you select an age group on the bottom, then that will make sure that all teams in the division have reserves and youths. If you don't do it, you won't have a reserve team or a youth team, so it can be quite hard to develop promising players. Okay, so this is basically the league structure done. Now we created the 3 cups earlier, so let's bring the cups into these nation rules. So again, we'll go to General. Oh, let's go to Database. Sorry, not Database, Nation Rules. Then we go on to the Cups tab down here, and we'll click Add. So the FA Cup, that's the nation main cup. In this case, it's the Russian Federation Cup. So we'll select that and we'll click Next. Then we need to add all the teams that we want to participate into this competition. So let's click Add here. We want every team that's in the Russian leagues to be in this competition. So we'll select the Russian Federation Premier Division. We'll select the Russian Federation Championship and the First Division. Then we'll click Next. Again, you can choose the match rules. This is a single leg knockout competition, so we'll click Finish. And the cup is set up. We'll also add the other 2 cups. So the Super Cup. This will be our Super Cup next. So the Super Cup will be the competition between the winner of our main cup, so the Russian Federation Cup, and the Premiership, so the Premier Division there. Click Next. This will normally take place towards the end of the season, so if I put this at the 1st of May 2015, set and finish. And then our final cup, which is our lower division cup, so that will be an other cup. Click Next, lower division cup, Next, and in this one we will have the 2 divisions below the Premiership, so the Championship and the First Division. Click Next, click Finish. So those are our 3 cups sorted out. Okay, so now we'll go back to the Russian Federation Cup, and we want to, this is a bit more straightforward to edit than the other one. We can have seeding rules if we want to. There's a down here on the at the bottom, and we can change our match rules. So do we want penalties, away goals, etc. Okay, so we can leave this as it is, and let's go to the next stage. This one allows us to set prize money for each stage of the competition. Allows you to set the number of legs for each stage of the competition, and if you want the games to be played in a specific venue. So for our purposes, we'll leave this, we won't touch any of this, but we'll move over to the prize money section here. So you can have prize money at the end of the competition, or you can have prize money at each stage. What we'll do here is we'll have prize money at each stage. So let's say for the winner of the first 3 rounds, we won't give any money at all. Then once we get to the quarterfinals, we'll give 200. Let's give 25,000. Sorry, that's not very generous. 125,000 for the winner, and 50,000 for the loser. 250,000 for the winner of the semi-final, 100,000 to the winner, to the loser, and then 500,000 and 250,000 for the 2 finalists. So bear in mind that these 2 are cumulative. So the finalist, the winner, will have won 500,000. They will also have won 250,000 and 125,000 from their success in the previous rounds. So there are other ways to do this as well, and you can also do appearance money. So just for appearing in a round, because of the costs of hosting the game, you could, I don't know, give £5,000 for appearance money in the first 3 leagues, first 3 rounds. Fixture rules, again, you can add all sorts of crazy rules. If you want to make it entirely homegrown players, you can set that up. In this case, we'll ignore that. So let's clear those criteria. And let's move on to the next cup. So these all operate in the same way. The Super Cup's a little bit different because it's only 2 teams, so we'll do that one at the end. We'll go to the lower division cup. So again, we've got knockout rounds here. If you want to have groups, so it's more like the World Cup or the Champions Cup, then we can set that as well, but we'll have straight knockouts. And cup rounds, again, we'll set prize money. Make it a little bit lower, as this is a lower ranking competition. We'll give 50,000 for the winner, nothing for the loser at that stage. We'll give 100,000, and we'll give 200,000. We'll have no loser prize money at all. We'll just rely on the winner. If they have won the if they get to this stage and lose, it means we would have won the quarterfinals. So they would still get some prize money. And finally, the Super Cup. So this is just 2 teams. So we can add an extra leg in here. We'll make it 2 legs. The first leg is the 1st to the 5th, so we'll put the second leg a week later. Make it the 8th to the 5th, 2015. Prize money for loser, 500,000. For winner, sorry. And appearance money we'll put at 200,000. So this is quite a high paying cup. Okay, and then this is all we need to do. So right now you should have a fully functioning league structure. So before we go ahead and play this, we want to click on Rules, Test Rules. The current nation rules are valid, that's what you want to see. If it's not, then it will tell you why not. And yep, so then save it as a name that you'll remember. Open Football Manager, not Classic mode. And then when you load a custom database, you'll be able to load this and your new league will be ready to play under the nation that you created it in. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know and I'll try and get back to you.